Hi viewers, welcome to another wonderful episode on your favorite talk show, Serenity TV. As you all know, this is your beautiful anchor, Gloria Uchenna. And with me in the studio today are...
Mr. Harry,
You're welcome, sir.
Benita Dike.
You're welcome, ma.
Emmanuel Zoma.
You are welcome. Welcome to the studio. So today we'll be discussing a very interesting topic, the moral dilemma of helping strangers. When should we step in and when should we move away? In this topic, the moral dilemma of helping, it is a very deep and complex topic that touches the ethics, the empathy, personal risks, social norms, and even psychology. Every aspect of our lives, it touches it. And the question is, do we even need to help strangers? Is it important? Do we really need to help? That is the question.
If I were have to chip in, I think that's a personal opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a personal opinion because actually helping strangers these days now takes level of understanding. That's individual understanding
Okay.
and your mindset, planning on having the mindset of what you want to do. If you have that spirit of giving,
Okay.
so um, I think it's right. Helping stranger is right because you don't know who might be in need. This is a small word. You might be going on transit and you might be stranded. You never have it in your mindset that you might be stranded, but one or two things came up and you have to be in that shoe. So you have to look for an alternative route. So I think that option is asking someone at least asking a stranger or someone anybody that is close by to be of assistance at that same time. As I said, it's supposed to be um it's optional.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's optional.
Okay, in my own opinion, I feel like helping strangers it should be a natural obligation
Okay.
because we are all human beings. You get me. The reason why there is not just one human being here is because God created all of us to put collective efforts together. When we help one another, things can easily move.
Yes.
We can progress in the
Yes.
system.
Yes.
Do you understand? So, but like when you don't help one another, we keep being stagnant. So it's a natural obligation and moral too for you to help strangers. But then asking when should you step in and when should you step out. So I will come with the latter. Yeah, you should step out when it's abusive.
Okay.
You get me? When it's
Okay.
abusive, when it's mischievous, when it's not truthful,
Okay.
because people are lazy because they think you can help them.
Yeah.
So they don't really want to put in the effort, the work they need to do, because they feel like they can easily beg for help and get it. So when it comes to these terms, these situations, you should actually back out.
Okay. Ma'am, do
Okay.
okay.
First of all, I think we're going to be looking at all the words involved in that sentence. It said the moral dilemma.
Yes.
Now, let's define the word dilemma.
Yes.
Now, dilemma is a situation whereby you're faced with two difficult choices to make. And in most cases, they are both undesirable.
Yeah.
It's something that ordinarily you wouldn't want to be. Now, paraphrasing, it said being between the devil and the deep blue sea.
Yeah.
Both of them, you won't choose either.
Yeah.
But because there must be a stand, you have to, how do I put it? Taking the lesser devil.
Yeah.
Okay, now, the moral there is right or wrong,
Yeah.
good or bad. As a human being, help, it's a natural occurring thing. It's something that should be in you. Now, strangers, yes, at that point, I begin to query it because we have people who put up an act.
Yes,
For
exactly.
instance, you might be driving on the road and you see a little baby. Natural instinct is to help that child.
Yeah.
But you and I know that fosters these days have also developed that means. They've devised the means of using kids to lure attention.
Yeah.
And probably in your attempt to help this little child whom you consider a stranger, you might become the culprit and a victim. Sorry, you
Yeah.
rather be a victim. Meanwhile, the culprit behind this act is a charade they put up. The little child, the stranger in quote here, it's not really in need of help.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so as the question further buttress, when to step in and when to step out, that calls for discretion, that calls for sensitivity,
Okay.
whether you're a Christian or a Muslim or natural occurring human being, there are intuition. Sometimes your mind will tell you help,
your mind may tell you not to help. This comes to borders on the individual. I might be led to say, okay, let me go ahead and help this person, a pregnant woman, she needs help. Oh, did I even mention that sometimes this culprit also uses pregnant
Yes,
women?
yes, exactly.
Something that makes you want to really help.
Yeah.
It's a bait. They are not really in need of help. In years back, I can say freely we help. You're not scared of anything. But as hunger grows in the society, desperation, quest for survival, a lot of things had made people, instead of thinking on how to develop tech, like Zuckerberg is able to help me and you communicate on Facebook. In an African context, what we develop is things that will kill us.
Yeah.
I mean, we've made people not to help out. You'll be driving, you see someone who is stranded, oh, your mind will tell you, don't stop. Another one will say, it will be a race between, a tussle between your spirit. Now, if you're spiritually sensitive, you could be led to say, go ahead, it's safe.
Yes.
If you're not, you might become a victim of the help you think you're rendering. That's my own take at that point.
All right, thank you very much. Now, I think there are key considerations that influences our choices, like she made mention of. Now, for instance, urgency. Like you said, you might be walking, and let me just say, an accident happened, and not like a fatal accident. It's something that you know that okay, if you have an idea of a first aid treatment, if you actually render, it must actually sustain this person before the person gets to the hospital. Now, in that sense of urgency, now some of us will be like, because a lot of cases have occurred whereby you help an accident victim and maybe the victims eventually die, and the police came and they were like, you are there. You were there when it happened. You get into trouble for helping. So, in terms of urgency, is it safe to help when you know you can render the help, despite the implication that it might result?
That is when the government comes in, understand? When we have a bad and a faulty government, understand? You should be thinking of at your best interest, am I to help or not?
Exactly.
But I think in a situation whereby you have a working country, whereby you know you help, but eventually you take the victim to a hospital, maybe the victim did not make it up. Before any other thing, thorough investigation should be undergo. Understand? But when we don't have such devices, like I think most time we just assume maybe you might be even having a mindset that you be the helper before a play.
Yeah.
So to be on the safe side, most time I think many people exclude themselves completely from that because of such. Let me just still emphasize on the bad government. Yes, I think that's my own opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, they had in this situation, this accident situation that we're talking about now. Then the dilemma is just like you are being caught between a rock and a hard place.
Exactly.
I still think that you should help because when you don't help and maybe something comes or the victim that you hear, you later hear news that
And
something
you know
worse
you-
happened.
Yes.
You'll be guilty.
Yes. Yes.
So, but when you help, I believe that you can talk your way out with evidence. You get me? So, but some people are cowardly, don't help because of they want to stay safe.
Okay.
But we cannot stay safe if behaving like that. Just I mean, because if it's in your own situation and you are in that condition, if somebody is able to help you but they don't help you because of the risk, the security risk involved, definitely you're not going to make it. You get me? So I feel like when in this situation, you should help. You'll be vindicated.
Okay, so it's a personal opinion.
Yeah. It's a personal opinion.
I feel like it's not really it's a personal opinion, but like I said earlier, that help in general is a natural obligation.
Yes.
Sure.
You get me? So if it's a natural obligation, it's more of like you should take away that personal opinion.
Yeah, but
Okay.
in this case also, when you talk about you getting vindicated at last, a lot of situation whereby you help because you know that it is the right thing to do, despite the consequences. You help, and at last maybe something the situation did not turn favorable to you. You see, even those that were witnesses at that point, all of them run away.
Sure.
Because at the end of the day, nobody wants to get entangled with police case.
Okay, let me say something here.
Yeah.
I'm going by the scripture. I'm a Christian. I don't
Okay.
know about the others. Now, we had a story they told us way back in Sunday school. It said, it rings, it echoes
Yeah.
for eternity. Talked about the Good Samaritan.
Yes, yes.
Now, there were three persons that passed by. Okay, two were like, it's none of my business. And you know the funny part of those two persons that passed by, it is expected of them. They were
help.
supposed to be an example of
Yes,
help
yes.
because it goes round. Okay, now they passed by the other one, and the seemingly not really expected of.
Yeah.
It was coming from where you don't expect it. And what happened? You and I are telling our kids the story.
Yeah.
Okay, so which one do you want? To be remembered for walking past and the man died and they show it on TV and you watch. I said, I know CPR very well. I could have helped. Now, also in helping strangers, there are factors you consider. How safe it is.
Yeah.
What's the risk? DOD, degree of
Yes.
danger. There are a lot of things you put into consideration. And mind you, you have split seconds to put this thing to factor in.
Yes.
So you must really, really be fast to say, if I step in here, is there any nearby bush? What is the possibility that this is a trap? Is a stage accident scene? These are things. And also, I said about intuition and discretion and then sensitivity. There are decisions you take at the spot that has to be from the inner recesses of your soul. If you're led to do it, do it. If you're not, sorry to say this, no matter the degree of accident, run. Especially in Nigeria.
Yes.
Especially the society, like you said, has not helped, has left us with no choice. Ordinarily, it's natural occurring. I see somebody who is in need of help, I should help. Like I'm driving past and I'm seeing people who are being beaten by the rain. Let's say they are guys. Now I will consider myself, this guy, don't check him out. I feel bitter. Do I know if I can? And a very good day, he stays, if he start, can I defend myself?
Yeah.
If I cannot, I feel no
Just
carry you.
move
But
your
if on a very guy, don't check this chick. She's a pregnant woman, little or no, I can stop by and give her a ride and go. Now it's not only on the female part, it's also
On the
applicable to the guy.
Yes, yes.
You might give this fine chick a ride. You don't know she has been packing from the pit of hell to destroy your life.
Yes.
And before you know, helping this stranger has come to another thing, chaos in your entire life. So these factors to consider: what's the degree of danger, how safe am I, and what do I stand to lose? I mean, if I know CPR and there's an accident, first of all, if you're a health practitioner, there's need to carry an identity.
Okay.
Now, when you show an identity card, it gives the people around this sense of probably he knows what he's doing. You're trying to save his soul. No thanks to Nigerian hospital, because even if you rush that person to
I
the hospital,
swear.
they will expect you to do the duty of the father and the mother.
Yes.
Meanwhile, you're helping. And they ask you questions you don't even know. So we don't have a functional system. If we do, there would have been a situation where what's your relationship with this victim you're bringing? I said you should know there's a boundary.
Yes.
There are things I won't ask you because you're not the father, you're not the mother, and then you're a pastor, but you just help out. And then I will expect you to put deposit. I don't even need to have money. Okay, so these things, like you said, is all encompassing.
Yes.
They help naturally, we should help. But the factors that will help us to do this help is not really there.
Yes.
That's my take. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay.
Listen, when it comes to helping people in our society, we should all really emphasize on helping.
Okay.
Yes, like she said, discretion matters. Okay, so when you don't help, the person might continue suffering, which might lead to worse situations.
Okay.
Many people are facing that situation. Let's think about ourselves. Let's think about yourself. You think about yourself. Okay, let's put ourselves in situations. We have been in situations where we really needed help, but because people don't believe us, they will not give us that help.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because they want to mind their business, they will not give you that help. Okay, imagine if let's not be negative, let's be positive. If it hadn't worked out for you, maybe you could not be here today
Yeah.
because there was no help. So you see, so we should all help.
I think so. I'm not anti-help here.
Yeah, but when it involves security risk,
Yeah.
you should just be discreet, just be careful. So,
Remember, my
Yeah.
contribution was bordered on the scenario she painted.
Yeah.
yes,
Actually, I believe we should help people.
yeah,
Okay.
something happened in my office, let's say 2 weeks ago. So I just drove to in front of I saw a pregnant, no, a woman. She was carrying a baby. That baby should be not. That baby was not up to a month old, and she has like a 5-year-old and about 7-year-old with her sitting on the pavement there. And I was just watching her. People were passing. You understand? Nobody was talking to her. That's a very odd scenario for me
Yes,
because
yes.
I've not seen her around my office before.
Yeah.
You understand? So I called one of my staff. I asked him, "Have you seen this woman here before?" He said, "No." I said, "Okay, what's she doing here?" He said, "He don't know." I said, "Okay, go and ask her what is she doing there." So what I the woman gave him a reply that she is homeless, she don't have a. I was thinking, could this be true? With a baby
Yeah.
that is less than a month old, you imagine that situation. Is that the baby is looking malnutrition like
Yeah.
yeah. So I called the woman. I called her. She came. I asked her her problem. She said that her landlord drove her out of her house. She was. I said, for how long? She said it's been like a month. No, she said like weeks. She said like weeks because she said she sells food and stuff. But I was asking her, you have kids, you should have something doing.
Doing.
Yes, and she said that everything that she used for selling food is in her house and they drove her out and locked the place. So you think about it. There is only, let's say, there's only 20% probably that will believe her.
Yes, yes.
Because I feel like it's all what orchestrated,
staged,
like
yes,
it's a
yeah.
made up story. But me, because of that obligation to help, is that I chose not to take it as a false what story. Do you understand me? I did what I needed to do to make sure that okay, she left with what happiness. At
Okay.
least she will have a place over her head. Do you understand me? So, like, if I consider what is happening in the country now, because a lot of people are selling babies, a lot of people are kidnapping babies.
Yes.
There are a lot of risk involved in helping somebody in that situation. What if those kids are not her own?
Okay, at this point, you
Mm.
also painted another scenario. Now, let me say this thing. When we talk about helping strangers, we're also talking about what kind of help are we talking
Are
about?
we rendering? Yeah.
Now, the kind of measures I will put in place to help her depends on the degree of help I want to render. If I want to build her a house or get her an accommodation and all that, I would definitely need to authenticate that story. But if I want her to give me space in my office and make sure she's well fed, maybe she has change to go by, I can just decide that at that point. I don't need to investigate. I don't have anything. The natural instinct in me is that I've helped her. She has gone home with food, and that's okay. But his own degree of help might be going a bit further than that. And so at that point, he might need to say, okay, let's even find out how truthful what she's saying is.
Yeah, the little diligence I did was I said, okay, go and bring your landlord number.
Okay.
I want to call him.
Okay.
So she left. She came back. She came back with the number. She said this number that she can't. I can't talk with the landlord directly, but I can talk with the caretaker. So I spoke with the caretaker. He confirmed everything that she said. So that was why I went ahead to make the provisions needed. Do you understand?
Okay. Okay, that's good. And in that aspect, that is where we talk about the clarity. Before you help, you have to you have to make sure that it is clarified.
Okay. Another thing is that now my staff was telling me, this is how they do. They go around begging. If you give her money now, she'll still come back and continue begging. He said all
What
these
society
things,
will find ourselves.
yeah. All these comments
Yeah.
nearly discouraged me. But I said no.
You have your values and what
Let,
you
Yeah.
let, me- let me see chip in this country. That's why I said we pray. The helper should not fall in pray.
Yes.
And
Yes.
secondly, that's why I emphasize on being a personal opinion. That's an individual difference. It's your mindset. She might likely be in need.
Yes.
And she needed someone to come in and at least assist her, maybe financially or emotionally, or at least someone to talk to her, at least give her a sense of hope. But the other way around again, if you check it plus and minus, what I'm just emphasizing on is the level of corruption in the economy, Nigeria in quotes. Is it making many people have that mindset like you see the right thing, you have you keep on
Doubting
having the other,
yourself.
you doubt your instinct. Should I do this? But this thing normally it's a normal way, it's a normal thing.
Yes.
Outside back then in the West, as in outside the country, I think these are those things that we do normally. These are government obligations. Government have a ways of assisting them financially, even without them going to the street. I know good, even no matter how you assist them, they'll still come up to the street. But what you are just emphasizing on is just like the government, the way the system is being corrupt. You will be having the second mindset like, if you're helping this person, I'm sure you're not going to fall a victim. I've heard of a situation whereby someone accommodated someone in her apartment. Before she came back from work the next day, they just have to move out. It had belonged. Even our appliances.
Okay, Mr. Head, just hold on there. Let's go on a quick break. We'll be back. Thank you. All right, viewers, welcome back from that very short break. So, Mr. Henry was saying something before we went on a short break.
I've said this all.
Okay, let's move on. Let's move on to the cultural and religious belief of helping strangers. You know, there are some culture, they believe, there are some cultural norms that they believe that you have to help strangers. You have to help that when a stranger comes into their community, it is their main duty to help any stranger that comes into the community. And religious belief, like you said, you're a Christian, it is in your place to help strangers. Why some will tell you, in as much as not somebody they know or somebody they're familiar with, they won't help. So let's come to the cultural belief. That is it culture, or how do I put it, to help? Because there are communities where you go, they help. Why some people will tell you that in our place we don't do that? I've heard someone say, you don't come, as long as you are somebody that we don't know, if you come to our place, we don't help. Because you don't know who you're helping. You might help somebody tomorrow and the person will turn against you. So like we were saying earlier.
Okay, for me, my culture obligates me to help.
Okay.
I'm from Igbo. I'm Igbo.
Okay.
So, and if you notice, Igbo people are very accommodating.
Yeah.
So other people from other tribes, they come here, they do their business. Even when you go to my village, you see Hausa people living there, going about freely. My people will protect them. You cannot harass them all. You understand me? So culturally, we are obligated to what? Help strangers. But it still implies to what we are talking about here. So there's times to step in and times to what? Avoid such scenarios of helping. So when it's a security risk, you have to really think about it thoroughly before you do it. And also, like when it's abusive, when they are using you, because some people think they are too smart.
Yes.
People think they are too smart to hustle. Oh.
Okay.
Yes, they think they are too smart to hustle. Today they will cook up a story. You understand? Tomorrow
They'll go to
they'll
someone
go
else,
another
yeah.
story. When before they will use that story for 1 week, now they have met about 20 people. Inside that 20 people, 5 will help them.
Yeah.
They are okay.
That's what.
Are you aware that we have professional beggars?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Good job.
So culturally, I'm obligated to help.
Okay.
Religiously, also I'm a Christian,
Okay.
Catholic, so I'm also obligated to help. She told us about the Good Samaritan sermon, the parable of the Good Samaritan. So you see, helping others is something that you have to do intelligently. If you're intelligent, you know that you have to help. If you're also intelligent, you know when to step out.
That's right.
You get. I don't want to go into details or start discussing my personal events here. But when I discuss about personal event, you notice that yes, you can put boundaries when helping someone becomes a detriment to you. When you start feeling used, you understand me? You can just withdraw. Because some people are good at what? Using their fellow human being. They can use you. They don't even care. If you like, find out. if you find out, they start using another person.
That's
let me chip in here. Actually, I will still stay on my say that may the helper don't be a prey.
yeah.
So I still stand on that word. Okay, culturally, let me come in here. I think we are all conversant with the latest do is now in Benue State, or the latest killing. I think this Benue indigenes accommodated most of these Fulanis. They have no, not the Hausas, the Fulani in quotes. And now I think they are planning to dominate, not dominate alone, to conquer, which is what's happening now currently now. And actually, assuming their norms or their culture is against resisting these people at the earlier stage, I think this conflict won't have even started, more or less escalating to this extent.
Yeah.
So I think, to my own opinion, I think we go with your mindset. You understand? We go with your mindset. And apart from that, I'm not against helping, no. I'm a Christian, no. But if I see the Christianity, and I think me, if I have to help you financially, if it's something I think I can help you that time, I give you what I have. But if it's the aspect of accommodating you, I think let's go through the legal way. No strangely attached to it, let's go
Yeah.
through the legal way. Let's document anything. In the space of this time to this time, I'm assisting you or I'm accommodating you for you to leave this time to this time. Let's document. You sign, I'll sign. If it's going through that legal process, you know the procedures of the law. So if you're scared of jeopardizing it, or you thinking of having that mindset of breaching that law
Some
because you
people don't
can go
even
down.
think about it. When it comes to that, some people don't even want to think about it.
Yeah.
Okay, now when we talk about helping, when we talk about helping strangers, some time back, okay, I just got back from work that day. I came into my house. I closed the gates normally. I went inside. I just freshened up. I was making something. And someone knocked on my door. I don't know how she opened the gate. She knocked on my door and came. When I opened, I was like, I don't know this woman from Adams. I don't know her from anywhere. She was carrying a new baby in her hand. And she was like, Madam, please, do you have something? And this Gary, make me and my children chop. I looked at the whole compound first. I was like, okay, how did you come? She said, she said the gate because I was scared. I won't lie to you because I was the only one. My neighbors were not around. So I said, are you sure? What I asked her was, are you sure I'm the one you're looking for? Because that was the question I asked. I don't know anybody around that area. She said, she just she came in. She knows that I was going to be around. So she came in. I said, okay, what will I do for you? She said, I should please give her money. And now she said I should give her money. And this rumor of when you give someone money, something will happen to you. That fear immediately hold me. And I was like, okay. I said, Madam, I don't have money. She said, I said, I said, I don't have money to give to you. She said, Auntie, I beg. She knelt down. Auntie, I beg. Make me and my children see food chop. I said, what about your husband? She said the husband traveled. That the husband was supposed to send money to them, but she don't know what happened. She has not heard from him since morning. And the children has not eaten. I said, okay. And one man was telling me, help this one. That one was telling me, you know this woman when you want help. What if she puts you for trouble? And it's late. That was around 9 p.m. in the night. It's late. So I told her, okay. I just dressed up. I said, wait for me outside. I just went out. When I was still helping, I was still praying. I said, God, make my help not put me for wahala. That was what I was doing. I just went to a nearby shop there. I didn't give her money. I bought the Gary and whatever she would need for. I bought it. And she was like, thank you. Even when I went to, I was like, sure say this one will not be spirit. I be like ghost. Do you understand? So when we are helping, that's fear. There's this fear. Even when we are helping, we also actually have to be self-conscious when we are helping strangers because you don't know who is who. You don't know who is. You don't know the one that you help and it will implicate you. And the one when you say you don't help, if I say okay, I'm not helping that woman now, throughout that night I may not be able to sleep.
Sure.
My mind will be telling me, what if it's true that she's really hungry? And what something happens to that child? Do you understand?
Yeah.
So it's just a battle between your conscience and what is happening in reality.
And you know, when the reason why I always emphasize on helping is because I can remember back then in school, things were not really that cool financially. So do you know that sometimes in a day you don't have food to eat?
Yes.
So when you don't have food, me in particular, when I don't have food to eat, do you know what will be going on in my mind? What will it take you to go and just beg your neighbor to give you food? Yes, sir. But because of my ego, I will not do it. But it does not mean that somebody else can enjoy so much.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yeah, like literally, like there's no food to eat. You don't have anything to eat. You are hungry. You are having headache. You are also reading book. So what does it take you to go and ask your neighbor, please, do you have food? Maybe, and your neighbor might be somebody that you are not even friends with. Yes. So sometimes, like I do think that should I go and just ask him or ask her? You get me? So when I see these people, I feel like okay, they have the courage to beg. Give them.
All right.
Okay, there's something I want to say.
Okay.
If we're going back to this topic, the moral dilemma of helping strangers, when to come in and when to
When to
walk away. Now, like I said before, everything depends on the individual. However, what is a universal truth here is that there is need, there is this natural inclination to help people who are in need. One, because you're not an island, and what goes around comes around. You could be the other side. You could be at the receiving end at some other point in your life. You never can tell. Um, However, let me buttress this point. Helping does not necessarily mean somebody has to beg.
Yes.
It could be something that calls to you naturally. You could decide to say, recently I heard about Davido donating $1 million to Burkina Faso because he saw someone who could make use of that money. And truly, for what he said he's going to use it to do, he's helping. They didn't beg him. There are times you could be let to go to prison. I remember those days I used to go for prison ministration. You understand? You will get there, you will see that there are persons whose case has never been touched. Nobody, you see, awaiting trial, he has already stayed 5 years. Nobody is visiting. Now, you could be a lawyer who is a human activist. It could be something that you and your God has decided. You could once in a while walk into that and see cases you can defend. It could be hospital bill. My younger brother used to go to hospital administration. Sometimes he said to his cell leader, I'm not mentioning any church, but you know yourselves. Now, they used to give them money on a name, I don't know what they call it. And so he said to the cell leader one day, he said, this person we are praying compassion for, her problem is money to lead this hospital. He said, why don't we use this money they give us and give? Do you know what the cell leader told him? He said, we'll share the money, take your own, go and give to her. That was the last he entered that cell meeting. Now, the person that didn't give is not a bad person.
Yeah.
But there's this thing you reacted, it's anti-nature for you to see that kind of situation and you're not helping out. Now, there are persons that it's something that occurs to them, go to the hospital, find out who is in need. So, most times, helping strangers does not necessarily mean there has to be a begging anywhere. And like he said, for me, begging is the hardest profession for any right thinking person.
Yeah.
Now, for you to beg free means that sense of telling you it's not right has died. There's a dysfunctioning thing in your brain. Like you wake up one morning, you're healthy and hearty. You can actually see me where me and you dey here. If I come on here now, I don't see fuel, and I see where they are digging something, and they say if I dig, then they give me. I go put the shoe digger. Now tomorrow you won't come here. I don't enter my car buy fuel. They go. Now you know say I dig yesterday, but that's yesterday. So me, I can sell sand with dish digger. I'll package it very well. Yesterday I watched the program of a boy that they call it Gary Flex. They say you're not from Nigeria. How were you able to do this? He said my roommate back in the college is a Nigerian, and Gary is his comfort meal. Like you were saying, when you don't have anything, not the way you get Gary and sugar, you put salt for us. Do you understand? Gary can sustain you. Now you're a big boy, you say you had granuts and milk and the rest of them. Now, what did this guy do? The guy started packaging Gary. He grinded peanuts, sugar, milk, and he went to a food scientist, a Nigerian food scientist. They taught him how to process this Gary so that it would be raw like silk. And then he now blended this thing together and did it in a pack. So all you need is buy Gary with a chilled water for it. That's why he even gave them prescription of the best water to use it so that he don't go and use hot water for that, because it's an emergency, it's a make shift meal. Do you understand? And now the boy, he has over $3 million. I think he went for, I stand to be corrected anyway. He went for this. I have this business idea. I need support, like grant or something.
Yes.
And he's looking at 3 million. He's not in Nigeria. Now, you can decide to do that and go to where people are not being well fed and give it to them. It could be a temporary help. So most times, you don't necessarily have to wait for people to help beg you. There could be a small boy in your village who study. I remember a friend of mine, this boy, the mom fries akara. And every time the boy will carry his chemistry book and come under the light of the akara, he fries in the night and be doing assignments. So these guys that used to come around, they've observed this boy, and one of the boys called and said, come here. He said, wait, what do you want to be? He said, I want to be a medical doctor when I grow up. He said, the other one said, this your, they started teasing. The boy said, okay. One asked him a question. He said, what is the IUPAC name of sulfuric acid? And the boy said, find the formula. Let's say it's tetrodotoxylsulfuric acid. And the boy said, he got it. They asked him again. He got third one. He got it. Ladies and gentlemen, let me make bold to tell you today that boy is a medical doctor. And guess who, in his induction in IMSU, guess who was the special guest of honor? The guy that invited him for that chat. And the friends took it up. And that boy is a medical doctor today. So sometimes you don't necessarily have to wait. There are people your heart will tell them. And let me come to the scripture. Forgive me for taking this time. Let me come to the scripture. There are people in life who are assigned to you. The Bible said that the earnest creation awaits for the manifestation of the sons of men. Now, there are people that will never see limelight until you become successful.
Yes.
Now you have to give back to them by one way or the other. There are places that their manifestation is a motivation for. You don't need to speak to them. They will be seeing all that sugar. That was, if you can do it, I can do it. You're already a motivation. Let alone when your financial support comes into play. There are classrooms in schools. A lot of people become big boy and they forget where they are coming from. Lest I forget, I want to know your village because I want to come to your village. You say you are hospitable. Okay, now back to my community. We're very hospitable. Will come. But we also have task force in the village because we've accommodated young guy who migrated from somewhere else, and before you know it, we're having 6 ladies pregnant. We're having 6 children. He started bringing on these young people. He gives them money from the bike and something, and he starts sleeping with them. He's a community nuisance. He's a threat. And so the community police come and they chase him out. Disgraceful, they will parade him around the community and they will tell you, we don't want to see you again. This is sent for. Next time he eventually comes there, whatever you see, you take. I didn't say they do anything to you, but whatever you see, you take. So helping is necessary, but like I said, there are limits, there are boundaries. If it threatens your peace, it's time to shut the door. Okay. So, but if it gives you joy and you know that you're fulfilling the natural law, it's necessary you help. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
Let me
Thank
come
you.
in. You make reference of a guy that your community accommodated for quite some time, has impregnated some of the villagers or the people in the community, right? The damages have been there.
Sorry.
That the damages is there already.
Yeah,
But,
but I painted a picture. I didn't say it's my village before you accuse me.
Is it real? Let's see.
Okay, but I've heard stories. I don't know about my community, but I've heard stories
Yeah.
of. Actually, I've read online about a man that goes about, and the worst part of this thing, he goes even after pregnant women who do not have anything to
Yes,
eat.
yes.
Married
I think
people.
I've read. Yes,
And
yeah, I've come
so he
across
offers them little comfort and he
Okay.
sleeps with them.
Yes. That's bad, and that
He's
is
a predator.
so yes, that is what he is,
Yeah,
because that is someone the
he's not
community
helping.
accepted. He was welcomed into the community.
Yes, they
Then
were
he's
helping.
preying on the community people.
Yeah.
That is causing more harm than good now. So now let's look at the emotional cost of inaction. When you decide not to take action, what is someone in help? The emotional cost of it.
Some people don't have emotions for it though. So this emotional
Everyone has conscience.
you mean the person that did not help.
Yes, the person.
Not everyone has conscience. Some people will not help you, and even if you come next, they even insult you on top. So.
No, let's talk about, okay, you as a human being. What do you think is the emotional cost when you don't help someone? Especially, like you said now, maybe because of what is happening now, I see that this person needs help and I don't help you. And at the end of the day, I'm hearing news that something happened to that person.
Okay.
Emotionally, will I be okay?
Okay, let me come in. I think I will also say I will just use that word. It's also an individual opinion,
Yeah.
an individual thing. Like me, I think I'll feel guilty because I felt like this person should have needed my help and I should have assisted them.
Yes.
But due to one or two things, I did not come in. Reasons personal to me. Understand? So that is why I said it should be a personal opinion. And secondly, again, the regret. What about if it now goes the other way around? After assisting the person, whatever, and the thing now go the other way around, like the person now be a victim, or you yourself that assisted the person now be a victim. You also think about it. You also be hurt emotionally. So I think we take a
two-way
two-way
dimension.
there.
Okay.
Okay, me myself, first of all, if I was supposed to help someone and I failed to help while I was capable, I will live with the guilt.
Yes.
Yes, but if I was not capable of helping and I did not help and something was happened, I will not be guilty.
Yes, of course. Because you know you wanted to, but you didn't have the capacity.
Yes.
That's different.
So, but like that's why I always tell everyone, if someone comes to you for help, if you can help the person. You understand me? Help. As long as the person did not come with gun, oh, you help.
Okay.
You get me? Yes. So because it takes courage to beg.
Yeah.
It takes courage. Well, if someone comes to beg you, even if the story is falsified, if you help and you are capable of
For that courage.
help the person.
Okay, let's
Let
take one
God
or
do the
two
job.
questions before we round up. Let's quickly take one or two questions. Now, there are questions we ask ourselves before we help. Like when you see something happening, like you said, you see one person has passed, another person has passed, seeing that same thing. But when you be like, am I the only one that will help? Am I the only one? Yeah, if I don't help, maybe someone else will come out. And you don't know if someone else will actually help if you don't help. So I think that's one question we should ask ourselves. Am I the only one that can help? Or am I the only one that should even help? Why should I bother myself?
Okay, now that question you just asked, it's like getting on the bandwagon.
Okay.
Okay, so if you are this kind of person, you follow the crowd. That's where that question reads on you. But if you're an individual that is unique,
That stands out.
you're not going to base on what is in you, based on what other people are doing, because you're a unique being. And you, as a person, you are inclined to helping people. So that person won't even come to you. You will do what is in your mind. So that one does not come. However, there's something he said, helping somebody. There are persons that the reason why they don't help, even when they are capable of helping, is because of past experiences
Yes.
and hurt they got from helping. And now you see where it becomes bad when need is staged. The people that genuinely need help may no longer be beneficiaries of that help, even from the person who is capable, because the ones that didn't need help staged it and he felt used and stupid. Do you understand? So sometimes it takes, like I said, being led at this point for this person who has said no more helping. I've been a fool for so long. But it takes somebody might come and break that jinx and say, this one will be you'll be restless. Your mind will keep flogging you, say, help this person. You see that person going against their wish. However, if that person is like me, there are persons that could come to me like beggars. One man will tell me from the time he's appearing, say, don't help this person. Don't help. As much as, even when I will try to open the PG road to see if I have money. And that voice will come so strongly upon me. I say, don't help. There is this guy that walked up to me one day, said, I'm a graduate. He introduced himself, what he studied, what he had, this. I said, okay, so what do I owe the honor of this introduction? He said, actually, he's been looking for a job. He needs something to eat. The woman that owns the shop looked at me. I said, what do you want to eat? He said, Indomie. And what? I said, okay. I said, go and take Indomie. This guy will pack the biggest size of it. I didn't know that Indomie exists. Now, on top of that, he took egg. I thought maybe you're cooking Indomie, it's only you now. Maybe 2 eggs should be enough. This man, I don't know if he's a boy or a man, took 4 eggs. I still didn't talk. Just when I was about saying, okay, madam, how much? He said, he needs coke. The woman now did like this for me. Like, she want to help. When he took the coke, he now asked for transport to go back to where he's coming from. And I told you at that point, that thing said give somebody money because he has tried to come this way, money is not coming. He has come this way, money is not coming. And I told him, I say, please give him 500. I said, will 500 be enough? He said yes. The woman, I said, give him 500 for transport. I said, madam, now calculate how much is it? I paid. Now I didn't feel bad. If that guy was trying to use me, he needed to be fed, and I fed him.
Yeah.
Do you understand? For me, I will go home sleeping. But there's another person, the same picture will come. I will not help and I won't feel bad.
Yes.
Because I was strictly instructed not to. So it's on the individual, the timing, the arrangement, who is involved. So that's my take on that.
All right. Thank you very much. So, can I help in a way that is safe for me and respectful to the person I'm offering help to?
Sure.
Like you said now, let me make an instance now. You want to help a person. Like you see a man who is incapable of actually paying his children fees. And maybe he doesn't actually ask for help. But you feel that you can. And you really want to help this kid to go to school. And you know some people have this ego. That despite what they are going through, they don't want someone to come in and know what they are going through. So can you help in that situation without the man feeling bad? Like someone else is taking his responsibilities. Like you're helping him.
Yeah,
Supporting his ego. Can you help?
You can listen. You can help. You understand? When I was in my SS2,
Okay.
someone helped me pay for my extramural lessons.
Okay.
You get me? And that help that person gave me, it was a stepping stone for me because through that lesson that I was going to, it helped me in my academics to actually pass my WAEC. You know what I mean? Without that help, maybe I wouldn't have made my WAEC actually, because the school I was going to, the teachers there, they were actually playing. So you see, I've had experiences that will motivate me to do things positively. I don't know about other people though.
Yeah.
So if I see that you are struggling, and you don't need to come and ask me, if I see that you are struggling, I can come in a friendly way and offer you help without even making it look like a help.
Yes.
Because some people they have pride, they will not come and ask
Yes.
you, but they are dying inside. But if you feel moved, even let's say religiously, God might be trying to use you to help them. They might be praying and say, God, please send a helper. Do you get me? So if you're moved to help someone that is not asking for help, you help. It's just a help. It's not harmful. It's not. And when you help, make sure that you don't talk.
Yes, that's very important.
Yes, that's why I said if it's possible to help someone without
Make sure that you don't.
disrespecting the
Even
person you're helping.
I disagree with all this helping with camera. When you go to feed the poor, you go with camera. Yes, I know that some of them are passing messages encouraging others to help. Yeah, but some of those help are not necessary to carry camera.
Yeah.
There are some personal help that people give and they put it on social media. It's bad. When you want to help genuinely, remove camera and help. Yes, and let it be between you and the person that you helped.
Okay.
Thank you.
So,
But there's something you said, sorry. There's something you say without the person feeling disrespectful.
yes.
See, this man is not paying school fees, but he's a one egocentric human being.
Yes.
And I'm coming to help the children because their future is at stake here. I don't have control over how he's going to feel.
Okay.
Do you understand? The only place my own stop is him saying, don't help him. But as long as he accepts the help, how he's going to feel thereafter? First of all, he said something, I'm not coming with camera. There's no announcer. I'm not talking to you rudely. I'm stepping in without anybody being a witness to help you take off the load that is giving you sleepless night. And then in you battling with your unhealthy ego, you're feeling I'm disrespecting you because you're supposed to be the man and I'm doing the man thing. Do you know people have as far as gone to kill their benefactor?
Yes. Yes.
So you don't have control over that, sincerely. And that's why I said the leading, the prompting has to come from within. Because you don't even know this person you have all the good intentions for. A young lady accommodated a young girl who is stranded and all that. The target is her husband. At the end of the day, she's the one leaving the home. You do not have control over that extremes. Do you understand? So, but should you help? Yes. If it becomes toxic, if it becomes an adulteress, it steals your peace and holds your sleep hostage, call it a quit. You're still on that. That's the way I see it. Okay, so for how the person, the beneficiary is going to feel, you don't have control over
Okay,
that.
and you think that because let me just create a little scenario here. Someone wants to help you, like let me say I want to help, and I come to you. I know you need help, and maybe at that point I've looked at it. You don't have any means of getting what you want, and I'm the only one that can give it to you. And I come like maybe I asked you something, and I'll be like, you stop misbehaving when I'm even helping you.
No.
That is when I come with the word disrespect.
No, that one.
Okay, no.
Do you understand what I mean now? That is when I come, because some people want to help you, but they are being disrespectful even to you that they are helping.
As a
So,
matter of fact,
a
if you want
A
someone,
stranger.
as a matter of
They'll
fact,
not tell you, why are you behaving? Because I want to
Is
help
that
you and you're
proper?
acting up.
no, like as a matter of fact, when you're helping someone, you should be respectful to them.
That is the
If you want them to actually benefit fully from that help, because
Because
when
some people
someone
feel that when they are helping you, they're actually doing you a favor. So you don't have a say.
Let me just chip in there. I think what we are emphasizing on is just helping anonymously, right? I mean, secondly, average man has an ego. So you helping someone financially without the man's assistance, that's the father of the house. To me, I'll use myself as a case study. If I find out it's a slap, it's a slap. Because actually, I think I should.
Even when you know you need the help.
Sure. I'm saying that because that at least there are so many other alternatives whereby we can at least come in. You can come in. I'm not against it, but at least you have to inform the man of the house, because most time situations like this, now it looks as if you look down on the man. Just a suggestion. So I think
no.
you just have to like
No,
No, I don't
No, I think you are
don't-
getting it
yes,
wrong.
yes, you're getting it.
You are getting
Like
it
I'll
wrong.
go to school and pay you.
No, no, that's not what should be.
No, no, no.
No,
What
that's
we
not
are
what
saying
what
is
I'm
that
saying.
you accepted the help,
okay.
but deep down inside of you, you were feeling because you know you're the father, you should be the one paying.
Doing that.
And as a result, you either start avoiding her or maybe start feeling bad deep down. You're feeling like most people will even prefer give me the money, let me go and pay. But we know that if we give you the money, we may not use it for that. Let's say you were drunk, God forbid, I'm not saying you are. But let's say we know this man who spends on frivolities. Maybe it's even the wife that reached out. And somebody had to come honor you by letting you know that this is what we want to do. And in your unhealthy ego, you're now feeling like they should have given me the money. I decide what to do with that money.
Okay.
All right,
I think
all
I
right,
get it.
all right. So let's thank you all for your contribution so far. It was a very, very educating topic. So the moral dilemma lies in balancing compassion with prudence in
That's
whatever
right.
you're doing. Make sure there's a balance. Even with your own self, when you want to lend a helping hand, no, let it be from within. Like she said, let your spirit lead you. So our audience out there, it is good to help. We're not saying you should not help. But helping is very, very good. Morally, it is good to help. But while you're helping, be careful and let your spirit lead you. Thank you for watching and God bless you. Bye.